It took me a lot longer to get ready than I would like to admit, just so I can come on here and prove to you guys that I'm put together, and even at that, I'm likely going to get some hate. So you can never really win, and if that's not the most relatable thing that you've ever heard, then I don't know what is.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been about, I don't even know how many years now, 4 years since I've been on YouTube, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm clearly rusty. I'm just editing and dying of laughter. Like, what are these hand movements? I have made videos every so often and just never ended up uploading them because I'm very picky, and I was always like, oh, this doesn't look right, or I don't look right, or whatever, and I'm gonna bite the bullet, and if something doesn't look right in this one, I'm still gonna upload it because I'm just fed up of always holding myself back from posting on YouTube, because I really do enjoy it. I enjoy the process, everything about it. I'm not getting paid for these videos, and it's been really tough, obviously, balancing jobs. I also volunteer at a women's shelter, but right now, actually, I'm in self-quarantine, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well, so things are a little bit different, and I got laid off from both of my jobs, and the place that I volunteer at is not taking any volunteers. So yeah, I have a lot more free time right now until I figure things out. And I was like, what more of a perfect time for me to get back on YouTube and do some little updates for you guys. If any of you guys are subscribed to me and are interested in seeing more videos from me, well, now's the time. And I missed this, so I'm gonna get right into it. And before I mention anything about that, I do want to give a PSA. I know YouTube restricts people from talking about what's going on right now, but I hope all of you guys are staying safe, self-isolating, social distancing, all of that. My heart goes out to you if you are working in the medical field, if you're helping people out, putting yourself and your loved ones at risk. I really appreciate you. You don't even know. I mean, all they're asking for us to do is to stay home. It could be a lot worse, so please just stay home so that you can help those around us stay alive. It's really sad what's going on, and I don't want to touch too much on it because I know you guys are all already aware, and bad news coming and going all the time, so I don't want to be a source of that, and I don't want to talk about any false news either. So I just did want to mention that I hope you guys are staying safe and well, and that your loved ones are as well, because I wouldn't feel right not mentioning that in a video in a time like this. So now that that's been said, let's move on to the video. So it's been at this point 4 years since I've had my scoliosis surgery. If you guys are interested in hearing about my whole process, why I decided to get surgery, my process throughout getting my surgery, how I was feeling right after it, like the following months post-op, I will link those videos in the description. I still have people reaching out to me till this day, 4 years later, so that's why I decided that it would be a good video to follow up on. So I did write some points in my little notebook, so I will be referring to that so that I'm not all over the place. I wanted some structure in this video because I do tend to ramble. So one thing I did want to mention is that I do live in Quebec. Thankfully, my surgery was covered and insured, and I did not have to pay anything, so I'm very grateful for that. However, I have not seen anyone to follow up on how I'm doing, so I did make that appointment actually recently, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to go to it because it's not urgent, and there are obviously a lot more important things happening in the world right now, and yeah, so I'm not sure if that's still going to be happening, but I will have a follow-up soon enough, fingers crossed. I think I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I haven't gotten an x-ray or, like I said, a follow-up or anything, so I don't really have a doctor's opinion on if maybe my scoliosis has gotten worse post-operation. But I would say that before I had my surgery, I was living my life quite normally. The only difference was that I knew that I had scoliosis, and I wasn't straight like most people, and in terms of pain, I didn't really have any. So that's not the reason why I got my scoliosis surgery. If you're interested in more details about why I got it done, then please refer to my other videos, because they're just jam-packed with information, so I just don't want to be too redundant in this video. So my life hasn't changed much from before I've had my surgery. Like I said, I didn't experience pain before, only during certain activities or if I'm sitting for too long, and unfortunately that's still the same thing to this day. I've noticed that certain jobs that I've had, such as waitressing, have been a lot easier on my back because I'm standing most of the time and I don't notice it. I'm kind of running around and I'm busy and I'm not noticing that there's any pain. I do notice it after a while if I'm not wearing like the best possible shoes and if I'm, you know, working a really long shift, that sort of thing. But otherwise I do find it a lot more difficult on my back when I'm sitting for an extended period of time, or not even an extended period of time, even if I'm sitting for, you know, an hour plus, then I start feeling it in my back. So that's not the greatest. I'm not sure if that's most people that experience that, but I definitely do experience that. So that is a con for sure. In terms of activities that I was able to do before I had surgery versus now, I wouldn't say that anything is too different. I had mentioned before that I was told that I couldn't do obviously any like crazy activities, like maybe skiing or anything that I can really get hurt in. They really mentioned that I shouldn't be going like jumping in general, like on a trampoline or anything. So I haven't done that at all. It was actually not until last summer that I did activities that I was told maybe weren't the greatest. So I kind of took that risk, if you want to call it that, just because I've known other people who have had scoliosis surgery who said that they were able to do these activities before, and I kind of checked on Reddit as well and read a bunch of threads, and at the end of the day, at this point, my back is already fused, so there's a risk, of course, of getting hurt with any type of sport or like more high intensity activity. You can get hurt, but just be cautious, of course. But I kind of tested it out by going to the water slides in the summer, and I was nervous because of course you're on your back for the most part, and it was great. I didn't have any pain at all. I was worried, but I took that chance because I really enjoy going to the water slides. I had a blast, and I'm not going to say I recommend it because I would never give you guys advice like that. Not being a doctor, it's possible that you could get hurt. So again, you have free will. It's up to you to assess how you're feeling. And for me, I just felt like at this point, 4 years post-op, I'm okay, and I ended up being fine. So I did all the slides, honestly, and I was good. And then we have an amusement park called La Ronde. That was another one where I was nervous about going on roller coasters because my doctor didn't recommend that either. And I was able to do the roller coasters and I was perfectly fine. So again, I don't recommend it, but I'm just letting you know that I ended up taking that risk and it worked out. So am I telling you to go do it? No, but it doesn't mean that you can't ever post-op. That's all I'm saying. Check with your doctor. Don't take my advice necessarily. This is just personal experience. What did I end up doing in terms of exercise, or did I see anyone after I got my surgery to recover? I did see a physiotherapist for a little while to kind of realign my body, and I saw a yoga therapist for the same reasons. I didn't keep up with that for too long just because it's very expensive to get those treatments, and so I did it for a few months, maybe even about a year tops. And then I started taking Pilates classes, and I noticed that those really helped. So I highly recommend Pilates. I stopped that after about 2 years, and now I'm back doing it again. Of course, now I'm in self-quarantine, so I'm not taking the classes, but I should just do it at home because that is definitely something that helps. So Pilates, just stretching, and honestly overall exercise is really helpful. Lifting weights, just making your body stronger is the best thing that you can do. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise because it's forcing you to get in shape, which we should all be doing. We should all be taking care of our bodies and making them stronger, and you know, overall wellness and health, eating healthy, all of that you guys already know. So yes, those are definitely factors that really help post-op. Do I have any regrets? I would not say I have any regrets. I'm sure that in the future, you know, technology will keep evolving and maybe people won't need to get rods in their back anymore for scoliosis surgeries, or I don't know how this will pan out, but this was my best option, it seemed, so I went with it. And I did wait 10 years after finding out that I had scoliosis to actually get the surgery. So I feel like with the knowledge that I had, you know, being so young when I found out, I was 14, to the time that I actually did it when I was 24, 25, myself and my parents, we did the best we can to educate ourselves, and it just seemed like this was the best option. Again, if you want to find out specifics, watch my other videos because I get into more specifics as to why I decided on the surgery. Another big one is the scar. I have showed you guys my scar right after my surgery. Now it's been 4 years. If I'm going to be completely honest, it looks pretty much the same. It doesn't bother me, but what's annoying is that whenever it shows, people always have something to say about it, and I find it a little odd because I don't know, like if I was a stranger and I noticed a scar on someone, I wouldn't necessarily go up to them and ask them about it, but that seems to be very normal these days. People do not keep their comments to themselves. So working in the service industry as a waitress for a while, there were times where I would wear like a turtleneck and it would just have like an open back sort of. I don't know what those are called, but like, you know, the keyhole or whatever. And I'd have my hair up and I get a lot of comments asking me if I'm okay and what happened. Oh my God. And I even had my boss, nicely enough, telling me that I should tattoo over it. So that's interesting. I will not be tattooing over it. If I ever do, it will not be because I'm trying to hide it. It would probably just be to, I don't know, like add to the aesthetic of being proud of my back. Maybe like adding some flowers or something to it, but not to cover it, like just accentuating it kind of thing. I have thought of that, but definitely no rush. I will show you what it looks like because I know a lot of you guys are curious. And yeah, I'm proud of my scar. I mean, I show it off in the summer. I don't wear things that cover it necessarily. I wear whatever I want, whether it hides it or not. So I will show you. So that's what it looks like. I did put scar cream on it for a while, for at least a year, I would say, or close to that. I don't really remember the specifics, but I did get a prescription from my doctor and it was a more expensive scar cream. It didn't work. I mean, as you guys can tell, my scar is still very visible. So if that's something that bothers you, you'll learn to get over it. Some people's scars heal a lot better. Mine, I just knew in advance that when I get like a paper cut or any type of cut, it doesn't heal the greatest. It's usually red, and that's life. It's not that serious. I don't really care about, you know, scars, stretch marks, all that kind of stuff. It tells a story, and that's something I'll never be ashamed about. Overall, I would say that my recovery on a scale of 1 to 10, it's hard to remember honestly because it was 4 years ago and now I'm fine. So I'm kind of like, oh, it was fine. But if I do try and think back to how it was not easy at all. It was a very difficult recovery, and mainly because I had side effects that could happen. It's always a possibility. And I got very, very lucky that those side effects went away on their own. I've mentioned in other videos the side effects that I had, and I don't want to scare anybody from getting the surgery. It's just crazy what you're able to do in times of desperation where you feel like that's all that you really can do. You're a lot stronger than you think. I remember watching videos of people who were going through scoliosis surgery and thinking that they were the bravest people in the world, and they totally are. But I just remember thinking like, that's never gonna be me. I'm never gonna be that brave. And I got through it, which means any of you can get through it, honestly. When you have to get something done, you just end up adapting, and that's kind of how humans work. So yeah, I feel for you if you're going through this. I hope you have the best support, because that's the number one thing that I would say you need. Absolutely need. You can't go through this by yourself. So support is everything, and of course an experienced doctor, and just be in a good mindset. You know, you can't go into it thinking that this is going to go wrong and that you're so scared and you're going to have complications and all of this. Be well informed, but don't psych yourself out if you feel that this is really the right decision for you and you've done your homework and you've looked at other options and you feel like this is the right option, then just go into it with the most positive mindset that you can. And that's the best advice that I can possibly give you. You will get through this. I believe in you, and if you have any questions or you're curious about anything else, you can obviously private message me. I'm more than happy to answer. I've actually had some people wanting to do Skype calls. I've done them and it's been a lot of fun. We've just been chatting, and yeah, I really enjoy doing that with you guys. So feel free to message me and to, you know, schedule a call. I obviously won't charge you or anything. I'd just like to help as in any which way that I can, as much as I can. So that is that. A lot of you were curious about intimacy after scoliosis surgery. I have a video already about that, and honestly I don't really feel like I need to touch more into it. Nothing has changed since then. Everything is good. My boyfriend's happy, I'm happy. Life is good. So in that regard, don't worry. I will show you again how I am limited in movement, because that was one of the main things that I was concerned about. So yeah. So in terms of movement, let me just zoom you out. So I can move side to side. Keep in mind I did not get my full spine done. I just got up until wherever you see it. So I do have movement in the bottom. So I can dance, you know, everything is good. Woo, 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 woo. I just can't, you know, arch my back. Like that's me arching my back. So I can, you know, twist pretty well. And yeah, I do feel robotic sometimes, but that's kind of part of it. On a day-to-day, I don't feel robotic. I think it's more when I'm like trying to dance that I feel a little bit limited, but it's okay. There are worse things in life, so.
That is me with rods in my back. My arms look so long. What the hell?
I will just say goodbye right now. It was nice catching up with you guys. I will film some more videos because I have such a jacked up hairline. If any of you guys have a jacked up hairline, and put freaking eyeshadow on there to compensate, let me know in the comments so I don't feel so alone. But yeah, if you guys have any video requests this week, most likely I will not be working, so I'll be able to film some videos, and I would love to do some requests. So whatever you guys want, let me know. It was nice catching up with you guys. Mwah. Talk to you soon.